Hey, how's it going? In this episode, I'm going to tell you the story about how I jacked up my cam chain tensioner screw. So if you're ready, I'm ready, Whiskers is ready, let's ride! Alright, before I get started, I'd like to give a big shout out to the Killswitch Queen, who sent me this badass she-wolf patch. I was one of the lucky winners of one of her drawings of this patch that she designed and screen printed herself. Now if you're not familiar with the Killswitch Queen, go over to her channel and check her out. She's got a rock solid DIY ethic, she's cute, she's funny, and she's doing a badass wasteland bike build with her Sportster. So pop on over there and tell her Chongolio sent you. So you may recall in my last video, I had mentioned that I had jacked up a part. Well, that part that I jacked up was the cam chain tensioner screw. And how I jacked it up was not reading the service manual and knowing exactly what I was getting myself into. So the point of this video really is to pay attention, read your service manual, know what you're getting yourself into, the parts involved, look at the exploded view, get your tools ready, and go into it armed with knowledge. Now what I had done was got in there with a screwdriver thinking that I was going to be treated like the valve adjust, which essentially was holding that slotted plunger in place while I wrenched away at the bolt at the end of that screw. That's not how it worked. There was a lock nut that needed to get undone. And since that screw wasn't going anywhere, because the lock nut was locked down tighter than a so to speak, I ended up stripping the bolt, bending it, and pinching the plunger that runs through the center of it so that it couldn't move freely through the bolt. That plunger is what puts tension on the mechanism that puts tension on the chain, the cam chain. So I had to replace that screw. Not a big deal. It was a $6 part. About 20 bucks by the time I got it shipped out here, because nothing is ever cheap when it comes to shipping it to Kauai. So the part makes it out here, and I get the toolkit out of Whiskers that came with it. The onboard toolkit that came with Whiskers had everything I needed to do what I needed to do, which was essentially take that case off. And before you do that, you should probably put a little rag or something below it, because there's going to be some oil that comes out of it. You don't see any oil coming out of mine, and that's simply because I was doing an oil change and already had all the oil drained out of my bike. Once you get that case off, it's just a matter of loosening up that lock nut, getting it off of there, and then removing that screw with the box wrench. As you can see, there's not a whole lot to it. There's just a gasket for the case, the lock nut, the screw, a couple compression springs, the plunger, and a little plastic dampener. And that all runs to a mechanism that puts tension on the cam chain. So I replaced the screw, got it all put back together properly, and just screwed it back in. Now how you do the adjustment once you got it all put back together is you just make sure that that plunger, you turn the screw until that plunger is even with the edge of that bolt. Then once you got that all evened up, you just hold the screw in place with the box wrench and just tighten up that lock nut. Easy peasy, George and Wheezy. So once again, the big takeaway here is know what you're doing. If you're gonna get inside your bike and do some tweaking on it and do your own maintenance, do yourself the fine favor and the due diligence of learning exactly what it is you're doing, why you're doing it, the tools involved, the parts involved, and trust me, you'll save yourself a lot of headaches and a lot of frustration. Maybe even a little bit of money too. If you like the content I'm putting out there and enjoy my little Chongolian rambles and mechanical mishaps, go ahead and peck on that subscribe button. Give me a sub, give me a thumb, whatever works best for you. I like it all. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Aloha.